In this video, we're going to review for the multiplication of parentheses. So let's look at the most basic multiplication here. So x times x, we know it is x squared. So when you have the same base times each other, you just need to add up the little exponents on the top. Okay? So 2x times 3x. So you just remember number times number, x times x. So number part 2 times 3 is 6. X part, x times x is x squared. 5x times x. So number times number, the number part is just 5. X part is x times x, which is x squared. Okay, we need this basic knowledge to do more complicated multiplications. So let's try one yourself. 4x times 2x, number times number. 4 times 2 is 8. X times x give you square. Okay. So now let's review distributive property. So if you have a number outside of a parenthesis, to get rid of the parenthesis, you're going to multiply the number outside 2 everybody inside of the parenthesis. Just be careful, the relationship here is multiplication because 4 is multiplying the parenthesis. So you're going to use 4 multiplying everybody inside. Okay. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is positive 12. Okay. So here you have 3 times 2 parentheses. And inside of the parentheses, you have 2 terms. So you're going to use 3 times each of them, one at a time. Be careful, the relationship is times here. Okay? So first part, 3 times 2x. Let's put our work here. 3 times 2x. Number part, 3 times 2 is 6. X part, you only have one x, no more. So it's just 6x. Second arrow, 3 times positive 5. 3 times positive 5. Number part, 3 times 5 is 15. No x at all, so it's positive 15, so plus 15. And that's it. Next one. This time outside of the parentheses, you have 5 and x. Okay? So together, they're going to multiply each term inside of the parentheses. Okay? So first arrow, be careful with multiplication. First arrow is 5x times 3x. Number part, 5 times 3 is 15. X part, x times x is x squared. So the first term gave you 15x squared. Second arrow is 5x times the second term in the parentheses is negative 2. Don't forget the sign. Okay? So second is 5x times negative 2. Number part, 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. X part, you only have x, so just x. So it's negative 10x. So in the answer part, you put negative 10x, and that's it. Okay, next. Let's try 2 problems. Get rid of the parentheses, use 5 times every term inside. Be careful, the second term is negative 3. Don't forget the sign. Okay? So 5 times 4x. Number part, 5 times 4 is 20. X part, you only have x. So it's 20x. Second arrow, 5 times negative 3. Number times each other is negative 15. No x, so it's negative minus 15. Okay, next one. 2x times everyone inside of the parentheses. Be careful, the second number is -6. Yeah. So first arrow, 2x times x. Number part is just 2. X part is x times x, which give you x squared. So it's 2x squared. And second arrow, 2x times -6. Number part, 2 times -6, -12. X part is just 1x. So it's -12x. Okay. Next, for you. So this means you have two parentheses times each other. So what are you going to do? So start from the first term in the first parenthesis. You're going to use it to multiply everybody in the second parenthesis. And then second term in the first parenthesis times everybody in the second parenthesis. And that's it. So let's look at the example. X times x, x squared. X times 5, 5x. 8 times x, 8x. 8 times 5, positive 40. Finally, you're going to combine like terms. Like terms are the terms that have the same x and same power. So here you see 5x and 8x, they have exactly the same x in it. So you're going to combine them. So to combine them, you just need to add the numbers in the front. So 5 plus 8 give you 13. So it's 13x. And after combining them, they're gone. Whatever you haven't combined, bring them down, and that is your final answer. Okay. First example. So use the first guy in the first parenthesis. Multiply everyone in the second parenthesis. And then you use the second one in the first parenthesis. Multiply everyone in the second parenthesis. Be careful, the second number in the parenthesis is -2. Don't forget the sign. Okay? So everything is multiplication because the two parentheses are multiplying. Okay? So now let's do them one by one. 3x times 2x. Let's put our work here. 3x times 2x. Number part. 3 times 2 is 6. X part, x times x is x squared. Okay. Second arrow, 3x times +1. Number part, 3 times 1 is +3, so +3. X part, you only have x. The arrows on the bottom, -2 times 2x. Don't forget the sign. Okay. Number part, -2 times 2, -4. X part, you only have 1x. Finally, -2 times +1. Just the two numbers times them together is -2. Okay. Finally, look for the like terms and combine them. So look from the beginning. First is x squared. Do you see other x squares on the back? No, right? So this is a single guy. Nothing you can do with it. Bring it down. Okay. And keep looking. 3x. Do you see any other x on the back? Yes. So they have the same term, x part. So they're the like terms. Combine them. Just add the numbers in the front. So 3 minus 4 give you -1x. Okay? And after combining them, they're gone. Okay? And finally, -2 is a single number. You don't see any other single numbers. So it's a single guy. Bring it down. So that is your final answer. Okay. Next one. So here you don't see two parentheses, but in order to get rid of the parentheses, you need to deal with the square, the little 2 here. So the square means what? It means something times itself twice. Here the square is covering the parentheses. So first you're going to break it down into two same parentheses times each other. The two parentheses are exactly the same. And now you have two parentheses times each other. So you're going to do the following. So the first guy in the first parenthesis times everybody in the second parenthesis. And then the second guy in the first parenthesis times everybody in the second parenthesis. So each arrow is multiplication. Okay. So let's do the multiplication 4 times. So first arrow 3x times 3x. Number times number, 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. Okay. Second arrow, 3x times -2. Don't forget the sign in the front. Okay. -2. So number part, 3 times -2 is -6. X, you only have one x, so it's -6x. Next arrow, -2. Don't forget the number in the sign in the front. Okay, so it's -2 times 3x. Number part, -2 times 3, -6. X part, you only have one x. Finally, -2 times -2. Don't forget the sign. Number part, -2 times -2 is +4. Okay. Finally, combine like terms. So x and x, they have the same sign, so we're going to combine them. And be careful, you're going to add up the number in the front. So here, the number in the front is -6. Here is also -6. So -6 add -6 is -12x. Okay? And after combining them, they're gone. And the two guys that you haven't touched, bring them down. And that's it. Okay. Next one. So you have two parentheses. So multiply the first guy in the first parenthesis to everybody in the back. And multiply the second guy in the first parenthesis to everybody in the back. Be careful, the second guy here is -1. Don't forget the sign. Okay. So now let's do the multiplication. 2x times 3x. Number times number. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. Next, arrow 2x times 5. Number part 2 times 5 is +10. X part you only have one x, no x here, so only one x. On the bottom, -1 times 3. Number times number. -1 times 3 is -3. X part, this don't have x, this have one x, so it's only one x. Finally, -1 times 5 is -5. Okay. And then check for like terms and combine them. X and x, they're like terms. Add up the number in the front. So 10 add -3 is +7x. And whatever you haven't touched, bring them down. And that's it. Okay. So here we see the square. So get rid of the square by double the parentheses. And then get rid of the parentheses by multiplication. So 2x times everybody in the second parenthesis and -1, don't forget the sign, times everybody in the second parenthesis. So let's do them one by one. 2x times 2x, number part, 2 times 2 is 4. X part, x times x is x squared. Next arrow, 2x times -1. Number part, 2 times -1 is -2. X part, you only have x, nothing there, so it's only 1x. On the bottom, -1 times 2x, number part, -1 times 2, -2. X part, you only have x here, nothing there, so it's just x. Last arrow, -1 times -1, +1 is times, okay? So -1 times -1 is +1. Finally, combine like terms. X and x, add up the numbers in the front. -2 add -2 is -4x. And bring down whatever you haven't touched. And on the back. And that's it. Okay. One more practice. Two parentheses times each other. So you're gonna draw the arrows for multiplication. 4x times everyone in the back in the second parenthesis. Be careful, the second guy is -1. Don't forget the sign. 2 times everyone in the second parenthesis. So let's do them one by one. 4x times 2x. 4 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. Second arrow, 4x times -1. Number part, 4 times -1 is -4. X part, this have an x, this have nothing, so it's just x. On the bottom, 2 times 2x, number part, 2 times 2 is +4. X part, you only have x here, nothing there, so it's just x. Finally, 2 times -1, -2. And then check for like terms, x, x, and add the number in the front for the like terms. It's -4, don't forget the sign, okay? It's -4. +4, we have 0. And we don't even need to put 0 on the paper, so it's just nothing. They cancel each other out, okay? And bring down whatever you haven't touched, which is and -2. And that's the answer. Okay.